Hi, good morning everyone. I hope you all enjoy your day. Let's start with a smile and hope for a better future. Well, what is a future and who knows what is the future? Can you all imagine your future or yourself in the future? What is your dream job? Think. I want you all to think. How can you achieve it? This is a great start. So our lesson is about our future, our jobs. Now, can you elicit some jobs from the picture? Look at the picture and what jobs do you see? Well, I can tell that I can see a doctor, an accountant, an engineer, a surgeon, or a nurse. I can see a cook and I can see a builder. They are all. A noun is a name of a person, like we call a person by it, like a girl. Who are you? I am Omar. This is your name, or this is a noun. Sometimes I call a thing, like for example, I am sitting in the living room, so this is a thing. This is a thing or a place. I can tell you, where are you? I'm at home. It's a place. Okay, so this is called a noun. Okay, let's start our unit. It's unit 1. Okay, we are going to start unit 1, lesson 1 together. And actually our lesson is going to be on page 12, unit 1, lesson 1. I want you to listen carefully and try as much as you can to repeat after the words you hear or after the job that we are going to call. So we'll learn how to pronounce, how to say the words, and let's start now. Okay, now our lesson has many names of jobs, but actually sometimes we have a problem to pronounce the words. So I want you to carefully, one by one, learn how to pronounce the words. So listen carefully and try as much as you can to follow words and sentences. Okay, listening is a better start for speaking. Okay, now we will start together. Okay, listen now. And this is a conversation between two boys. Okay, I want you to listen to it.
Page 12, Unit 1, Lesson 1, Activity 1. Listen and read. What does Jack like doing? 1.
What do you want to be in the future, Peter?
2.
I'm not sure. Maybe an athlete or a paramedic. What about you?
3.
Well, I like drawing, and I love computers.
Do you want to be an artist? Or maybe an architect?
4.
No, I don't. I want to design computer games.
A graphic designer? That's cool.
So these two boys were talking about their future and what do they want to be. Okay, I want you to think about, if I'm asking you, what would you like to be in the future? You are going to think, and I want you to think carefully about your future and your job. Future and your job is your dream coming true that you are going to achieve, and it's something that you would like to be, and you're going to happy to be in it. Okay, Now let's go to the part that we're going to listen, and we're going to exercise 2, page 11. Okay, listen to the words and try as much as you can to say them, so you will have a better pronunciation of the words and you will be able to say them. I want you to learn these words because sometimes we are using them in our writing or describing something or talking about certain people in our lives. Okay, now let's listen, okay? And I want you to repeat.
Page 12, Unit 1, Lesson 1. Activity 2.
Activity 2.
Listen and repeat the sentences.
Yes.
Then listen and match. 1,
She's a dentist.
2,
He's an architect.
3,
She's a graphic designer.
4,
He's a judge.
5,
She's a librarian.
6,
He's a paramedic.
7,
She's a scientist.
8,
He's an athlete.
9,
She's a hairdresser.
10,
He's a photographer.
Okay, now let me repeat again. Now we said the words, repeat them and write numbers beside them, and follow me to write the numbers beside each word, okay?
Page 12, Unit 1, Lesson 1.
Concentrate and
Activity
listen
2.
and write the
Listen
numbers.
and repeat the sentences. Then listen and match. 1,
She's a dentist.
Dentist, F is 1.
2,
F is 1.
He's an architect.
C is 2.
3,
C is 2.
She's a graphic designer.
J
4.
is 3.
He's a judge.
5,
A is 4.
She's a librarian.
6,
Librarian, D is
He's a
5.
paramedic.
6 is
7,
I.
She's a scientist.
Scientist, B
8.
is
He's an
7.
athlete.
Athlete is 8.
9,
She's a hairdresser.
H is 9.
10,
He's a photographer.
10 is photographer. Okay, now listen to the 5 people upcoming, okay? And I want you to, what are their jobs? Listen to 5 people and what are their
Page
jobs?
12.
Page 12.
Unit 1.
Unit
Lesson
1.
1.
Lesson
Activity 3.
Yes.
Listen to 5 people. What are their jobs? 1,
I can run really fast.
Yes.
I win
Someone
lots
who
of
runs.
competitions.
Runs very fast.
2.
Athlete.
I work in a laboratory. I do lots of experiments.
Experiments. Scientist.
3,
I help people when they have an accident.
A
I
paramedic.
take them to hospital.
Yeah, take them to hospital. Paramedic.
4,
I give people beautiful smiles because I look after their teeth.
A dentist.
5,
I design buildings, bridges, and roads. I'm very good at drawing.
Architect. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Now, sometimes when we come to tell the job of a person, I have to describe the job. If I say, for example, I'm giving you an example right now, describe the person who works in a hospital. First of all, he's a doctor. he works in a hospital. He works with patients. He deals with injuries. He goes and have operation, and sometimes he uses certain tools, and he gives medicine, of course. So this is all a description of a doctor, okay? If I want to ask you to describe, for example, a hairdresser, what would you say? A hairdresser works in a barber shop, cuts hair, take care of the looks. So this is a hairdresser. So be careful to describe the job. If I'm asking you a teacher, describe the job of a teacher, what would you say? Let me hear. Let me see. What's the idea that you get? Great. So whenever you have a teacher, always comes to your mind school. Okay, school, where the teacher works. So the teacher works in school, and the teacher teaches students. The teacher is cheerful. The students love their teachers. The teacher does activities. So this is all description of a teacher. Okay. Now our lesson is a very interesting lesson because we are working on certain jobs. We're talking about our futures, and all of our future is important because it's very nice to know what you're going to, or what are the plans for the future. Okay. Now whenever we come to describe any job, we describe the place, the activity the person is doing, and sometimes we can have certain adjectives to say them. Okay. And now to page 14. We are still in Unit 1, page 14. I want you to listen and repeat the words. This is going to help you for a better pronunciation, and you will learn as much as you can, and how to pronounce certain words for yourself. Listen and repeat. Listen and repeat.
Page 14. Unit 1, Lesson 3, Activity 7. Listen and repeat the sentences. Which jobs do you want to do? 1.
He's a businessman.
Businessman.
2.
She's a journalist.
Journalist.
3. He's a mechanic.
Mechanic.
4.
She's a sculptor.
Sculptor.
5.
He's a sales assistant.
Sales assistant.
6.
She's a receptionist.
Receptionist.
7.
He's a coach.
Coach.
8.
She's a florist.
Florist.
9.
He's a carpenter.
Carpenter.
10.
She's a flight attendant.
Flight attendant. Okay, now if I'm going to ask you, describe the flight attendant job, what are you going to say? Comes from flight. She works on an aeroplane. She serves people. She announces certain important things on the plane. Okay, if I'm going to ask you about the businessman, he works in a company, and the businessman does his job in an office. He travels the world. He has many contracts and deals. So each job, I'm going to ask you to describe the jobs as I said. Where do they work and their job description? A journalist. A journalist. Great. A journalist works in a journal, and he writes about news. Sometimes he can be a reporter, and he tells other people new news around the world. We have a sculptor. A sculptor. What is a sculptor? A sculptor. Who is a sculptor? Yes, very good. He's a person who works with shaping mud, let's say, and he does many shapes, he's some sort of an artist, like a person who likes drawing. It's the same. And so on. Whenever I ask you to describe a person who works in certain job, you're going to say where does he work and what does he do. Now let's listen, read and guess. We are still in page 14. We are going to start exercise 8.
Page 14, Unit 1, Lesson 3, Activity 8. Read and guess the missing words. Then listen and sing.
Does Jason want to be a coach? No, he doesn't. Does Jason want to be a journalist? Yes, he does. He wants to be a journalist. Does Susie want to be a florist? No, she doesn't. Does Susie want to be a flight attendant? Yes, she does. She wants to be a flight attendant.
Okay, now let's answer the song. Journalist and then florist. Okay, and then we have a coach and flight attendant. Okay, now ask and answer about people. Does your brother want to be an athlete? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Okay, as you wish to ask and answer questions. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want to be a journalist? Great. Yes, I want. Do you want to be a journalist? No, I don't want to be a journalist. Okay. This is asking and answering certain questions together. Okay, now we will go to next page, which is page 16. Turn to page 16. It's about reading. I want you to read carefully. Listen first, and then you will take turn to read. I'll give you a space to read, and then we will answer questions. Okay,
Page 16, Unit 1, Lesson 5, Activity 13. Listen and read. Who likes computers?
What do you want to be and why? How can you make your dream come true?
I want to be an athlete because I want to run for my country. I want to be a champion at the Olympic Games. I train very hard and I listen to my coach. I eat lots of fruit and vegetables and I don't eat any unhealthy food. And I go to bed early every night.
I want to be a journalist because I like telling stories and I like talking to people. I write in my diary every day and I read a lot. I sometimes read the newspaper with my mum and dad. I practice speaking aloud every day too.
I want to be a graphic designer because I like computers and I'm good at art. I want to design websites and computer games because it's fun. I play a lot of computer games. I also want to start a computer games company and be a famous businessman.
Okay, now let me answer or let's answer the questions here. After, I want you to just repeat the words that is said and read it again carefully. Okay, now let's answer together. Kevin wants to be an athlete at the Olympic Games. Now you're going to say true or false. Yes, very good. True. Very good. He wants to be an athlete at the Olympic Games. Kevin sometimes eats bad food and goes to bed late. Of course, false. It's false. Okay. Alicia likes telling stories and talking to people. True. Number 4, Alicia writes in her diary every month. False. Number 5, Brian thinks that computers are boring. Okay? Wrong. False. Brian wants to be a businessman. False. Alicia was working harder than Kevin or Brian to make her dream come true. Of course, it's false. Okay. Now listen and answer. Exercise 15. Listen and answer.
Page 16, Unit 1, Lesson 5, Activity 15. Listen and answer.
Hi, Julia. What do you want to be when you finish school?
I want to be a teacher
Why do you want to be a teacher?
because I like helping people. Also, I'm good at speaking.
I see. That sounds great. How can you make this come true?
I read a lot and study hard at school. I'm learning from all my teachers.
That's great, Julia.
Thanks.
Okay, does Julia want to be a librarian? No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. What does she want to be and why? She wants to be a teacher to help people. How can she make her dream come true? Now, how does she make her dream come true? She reads a lot and she works hard and she learns from her teachers. This is all about jobs. I wish that you all repeat and read at home one by one and learn how to say certain jobs, how to pronounce them to make your English better. Thank you very much. Good luck.